Hi, it's WolfenStormtheCastle.com, and this is part 8 of my tutorial on how to forge a sword. And in this part, we finish off the sword. Here you go. Alright, looks pretty good. You know, been a long time. Thanks for sticking with me if you've been watching this series. I may do one more and do an engraving on that, but I haven't decided yet. I may do an engraving, show you how to do an engraving on a sword or a knife. But this is pretty much it, the last one. It's been a long trek. But a lesson there I guess you should take is, you know, you want to do a project, just stick with it. Just stick with it. So in this tutorial, I'll show you how I do these things. I polish off the sword, assemble it together, you know, put the brass, put it all together, brass pommel on it, and pin that. That's pinned. And that's about it. I'm not sharpening this sword so I can show it around. But you would just sharpen it like you sharpen a knife with a stone. But that's it. You can see it has a good look to it, pretty good look to it. A little bit of tool marking there, which is nice. I kind of, you know, you can tell this is a hand forged sword, not machine made. So that's it. Let's launch into the tutorial on how I did this, and you know, leave a comment what you think. Also, I have the material to make another sword in a different style. You know, not so much forging, a lot easier. Let me know if you want me to do that, or I was thinking maybe I'd actually do a piece of armor or something. I don't know. Let me know what you think on the next blacksmithing videos. So let's launch into the tutorial, the last part, on how to forge a sword. Okay, now we don't have a whole lot left to do on this sword, but one thing we really need to do is polish it up. You can see here I started grinding it away with emery paper. I started with 80 grit, and I worked my way through the various grits to 120, 220, 300, 400, and 600 grit. You just got to take your time with this. You know, you can see, and you can probably hear by the sound how it changes. It's getting more shiny. See, it's starting to get shinier. But you just got to put the elbow grease into this. This took like, I don't know, 5 hours of just hand grinding. I made a little jig there so I could sit down at the table and just work at the grinding of the sword to polish it up. So I went all the way to 600 grit. You could even go further if you wanted to give it more of a shine, more of a mirror-like shine. You could use a buffing wheel on it or something like that. It's a lot of work. But once that's done, then I polished up. I did the same kind of a thing on the brass, both the guard and the pommel. Brass is a lot easier to do. I didn't have to use as many grits or spend as much time on it. Just to make it look good. Once that's done, we finished up the handle. I actually did grind it down with a little bit on a belt sander, so it fit the pommel a little bit better. People made comments about that, and they were right. So I polished it up a little bit. Then I used a file to just put some grooves in it, give it a little bit of detail. You can really go crazy and make a whole lot of detail. It'd be a lot of fun to carve a shape or something in it. But so that's just about it. We're just about done. We just need to, you know, put this together after we polish the head a little bit. I used some tung oil on it, a few coats of that. Gives it a good luster, a good feel. But you put the tung oil, let it dry, sand it down lightly. Put another coat on. It'll give it a deep, rich feel of that Purple Heart. So we put the guard on, put the handle on, put the pommel on, and then we pin the pommel in place with a brass pin. Nice, tight fit. So that holds the whole sword together. And that's that. That's just about that. This sword is done. Thanks for sticking with me for all this time. It's been an interesting process, you know, but if you want to make one, I say just go for it, you know. Keep after it. Now I filed down and then sanded down that pin so it looks good. The sword is complete. Well, I guess it could use more polishing and I could sharpen it, but that's that. So we've made a sword. We've forged our own sword like a blacksmith. Thanks for watching. Lots more stuff on our website. Here on my YouTube channel, I got all kinds of projects. Weapons, armor, paper mache, weapons, cardboard, stuff like that. And you can click here on this video if you want to see part 1 of how to forge the sword. That's a fun video because, you know, you actually see me working it on the anvil and stuff like that. Thanks for watching.